Hey everyone, it's Pickleball with Tyler with Universal Rackets, and in this video we are going to be doing a full masterclass on how to be more aggressive and play more offensive up at the kitchen when you're playing pickleball. Once again, if you want to learn how to be more on offense, if you want to learn how to put more balls away, then this is going to be the video for you. After you're done this full video, you're going to learn tons of tips and tons of tricks for you to double how effective, offensive, and aggressive you are on the pickleball court. So make sure you buckle your seatbelts and stay tuned because this is going to be an amazing video. Let's go. Now, the first thing that we have to go over is what is an aggressive and offensive shot. Any ball that is above the net is an offensive shot, and that's when you should go for it. Any ball at or below the net is a neutral or defensive shot. A lot of players, they say, I hate playing bangers. I hate people who smash the ball at me. And what I ask them is, where are your opponents making contact? Are they making contact from below the net or above the net? And I want you to understand why. Whenever you're making contact above the net, that means you're hitting down into the court. You can smash the ball as hard as you want, hit down into the court, and win the point. You're on offense. However, whenever you're making contact at or below the net, you're going to be having to hit the ball up over net. If I hit down, it's going to go straight in the net. So the goal of dinking, and the reason why so many coaches, the first thing that they go over is dinking, and we learn dinking in pickleball, is to neutralize your opponent and keep the ball low so your opponents can't smash the ball at you. Now, the higher level you get in pickleball, the lower players can be offensive from. Once again, the higher level you get in pickleball, the lower players can be offensive from. Beginner players, whenever the ball's this high, they can smash it down. Now, pros, they're able to lower their aggressive or their offensive point of contact. And high level players, they're able to be offensive from at or below the net and still hit the ball hard. Now, to do so and to instantly make you more aggressive and offensive, the first thing that we're going to do is lowering our stance. I want you to notice here, my contact point swinging down is this high when I'm standing up straight. Now, if I lower or drop my center of gravity and I get into my legs, now look how much lower my contact point is going to be. I can smash it down. So where a lot of players go wrong or they can't be offensive all the time, it's because they are not getting into your legs. If you want to double the amount of offensive and aggressive you can be, all you have to do is drop your center of gravity and get into your legs. Instead of having to hit this high, now if I drop my legs, look, I can hit this high. So number one is to drop your center of gravity, be a foot shorter than you typically are, and you're going to be able to double the amount of offensive balls that you can hit. Now, the next thing, and this is what separates high-level players from beginner players, is the angle of their paddle. Everyone can hit an aggressive and offensive ball when their paddle is straight up and they're making contact from above their head. They can just smash down. Now, if you do the exact same thing and you're holding your paddle vertical and the ball's a tiny bit lower, it's going to go into the net. So if you want to be more aggressive and offensive, you have to angle your paddle face. Notice when I make contact and I still want to be aggressive on balls that are lower than I'm fully extended, instead of holding my paddle vertical, I'm going to hold my paddle diagonal. Another way to think of this is the higher the paddle, the more vertical you want it to be, and the lower the paddle, the more downward you want it to be. Still vertical, but look, the lower I get, the more I angle my paddle. The higher I get, the more vertical. The lower I get, the more I angle my paddle. So where players go wrong is that they try to be super aggressive, but the ball's low, their paddle's vertical, and it goes straight into the net. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you diagonal your paddle. You hold the paddle diagonal instead of vertical, and you're able to be aggressive and get under the ball and put the ball away. So again, anytime that you make contact around your chest, you want your paddle diagonal instead of vertical, and you're going to be able to get the ball over the net and into the court. So we already went over getting into our legs. Now we went over making our paddle diagonal. Now, the next thing that you want to do, and this is the main misconception between beginner and advanced players, is beginner players, they think that they have to swing super hard, and when they want to put the ball away, they use their arm and their shoulder. So what they're doing is they're taking giant unnecessary swings. And the less compact, the less controlled, the less concise you are, the more things can go wrong in pickleball. So players have a high ball, it's sitting, and all they're doing is just swinging as much as possible. I want you to notice my elbow. When I'm swinging, look where my elbow is going at all times. The more aggressive, the more advanced players, their elbow's tucked into their body and they're just using their wrist. This is not sustainable and you're going to blow out your shoulder. This is sustainable. If you want to hit a big aggressive shot, you have to realize that by using your wrist instead of using just your arm and shoulder, you're going to be able to hit such a bigger ball. Even if the ball is a tiny bit lower, notice I'm going to lower or make my paddle more diagonal to the point when it's around the net. I'm going to make it horizontal. Notice I'm using my wrist. I'm not using my arm and my shoulder. So what you need to do, and a great drill to do, is go out and have someone feed high balls, attackable balls to you, and all you're going to do is keep your elbow tucked into your body and try to use your wrist. Notice, if the ball's super high and I'm smashing down, I'm going to snap my wrist downward. If the ball's lower, I'm going to brush my wrist upward. And that gets into the next point that we're going to be going over, that when the ball is a little bit lower or neutralized, pros, they're not snapping their wrist unless they're dropping super low and they're hitting a scorpion. But what they're doing is they're brushing the ball, and by brushing the ball, they are able to be more offensive. Now let me explain. So whenever I get a ball around here, I'm not swinging down with my wrist. I'm actually getting under the ball, but I'm coming on top of it. Now this concept is extremely difficult, but we're going to break it down for you right now. When you're making contact with a ball that's around neutral height around the net, instead of coming down on the ball, which is going to go straight into the net, you're going to drop your paddle and you're going to come up on the ball. Notice, if I want to be aggressive around net height, instead of swinging down with my wrist, all I'm going to do is I'm going to point my paddle down and then I'm going to swing upward. Again, you want to make sure that your paddle goes below the ball prior to contact. During contact, you're brushing up the back of the ball. So I'm hitting down into the court, but what makes me be aggressive and offensive is I'm swinging low to high rather than just swinging down. Or players think, oh, it's not high enough, I'm going to net it if I try to swing down. And what do? Maybe they could hit a ball like this, well, a ball like that's in, but all they do, they don't know that shot, so they just block it back. So if you want to be more offensive and aggressive, you have to learn how to drop your paddle. The ball's coming high, you're going to drop your paddle tip down, and then you're going to go up. Again, the ball's coming in, you're going to drop your paddle tip down, and you're going to go up. Now this is what we call a flick or a roll. Now the big thing with the flick or the roll is you're not just going upward, you're going upward and forward. Notice you need to hit forward and through and into the court. So don't just swing up and forward towards your target. Fuck. All right. So notice again, I'm not going here, I'm going up and forward. Same thing for the forehand. I'm going up and forward when I hit. So think about it this way. Anything that's super high, your paddle's vertical. Then as we lower it, all I'm going to do is I'm going to make my paddle more diagonal to the point when it's around my chest or around net height. If I still want to be aggressive rather than blocking the ball back, I'm actually going to drop my paddle down and I'm going to get under it. That helps you because you're able to still lift the ball over the net, even if you're making contact around the net. Now, we crawled before we walked and we walked before we ran because why? We're getting into our legs. You're never going to be able to utilize a shot if all you're doing is standing here and going like this. You're going to help yourself get under the ball because not only your paddle, but now we're dropping into our legs and really coming upward. So that's the next thing that we're going to do. In addition to that, you're going to hold your paddle more out in front. A lot of players are passive. They're waiting for the ball to get to them. Instead of waiting for the ball to get to you, I want you to go to the ball. I want your paddle to go to the ball. A lot of players, where they go wrong is when they're standing, they're just standing straight up with their paddle close to your body. If you stand straight up and your paddle's close to your body, you're always going to be making contact close to your body and you're going to end up popping the ball up. Instead of standing with your paddle close to your body or standing behind the kitchen line, you're going to stand up on the kitchen line. Also, you're going to have the weight on your balls of your feet and you're going to lean forward. By leaning forward and already having my paddle out, my paddle's going to be meeting the ball instead of the ball meeting the paddle. Again, if I'm here and the ball comes, I'm able to block and go forward instead of being in here and now I have to go out to the ball and I'm going to pop it up. Again, the most aggressive offensive shots, they're being proactive. They're not being reactive. Their paddle's already there and they're just going forward with their wrist. They're not swinging or they're not using their arm and their shoulder. So your new stance, if you want to double the amount of aggressive and offensive shots that you hit, I want you to be like this rather than being like this. I want you to be leaning over, keeping your paddle out front, shrinking the kitchen, and I want you to be trying to hit the ball early. The later you get the ball to you, or the closer you get the ball to you, the more defensive or neutral you're going to be hitting, and not as offensive your shots are going to be. Now, the next thing with that, and this is a huge reason why I see a lot of recreational players miss the balls, is because when they shift out the high balls, and this is a huge thing, so make sure you pay attention, they're shifting backward and hitting. Again, think, someone pops the ball up, but they have to shift over to the side, or someone pops the ball up here and they have to shift over to the middle and hit it. This is where they go wrong, including myself. They go back to the ball. If I ever shift out to the ball and I'm hitting an offensive shot, you need to stay on the kitchen line and you need to shift out to the side and hit. Again, if I'm going to the middle, I'm going to shift out to the side and hit. Where I'm not doing and where players go wrong is that they're here and they're shifting back or they're moving back. The only time that you want to move back is when the opponent is going to smash the ball at you. So make sure you always move to the side and you never move backwards. Another way to think about it is think that there's a wall in front of you and a wall behind you. You have to stay within the wall at all times. Another way that you could think of it is that you are moving like a crab. You're never turning and taking your body back. This is an offensive shot if I stay up here. If I'm going further back, I'm going to be more defensive and I'm probably going to hit it in the net. A lot of players, they can't post, they're going to have a middle ball and they go like this and go, oh my gosh, I hit it in the net. Why? Because number one, maybe they weren't getting in their legs or a paddle angle wasn't correct, but then also they're shifting out backward instead of just to the side. So just a quick recap. Again, we're using less of our arm and shoulder and more of our wrist. When the ball is high, we're snapping our wrist down. As the ball gets lower, we're making our paddle more diagonal. We're not keeping it vertical, and we're also getting into our legs and dropping our center of gravity so our contact point is lower. Next, what we're doing is we're making sure that if the ball's lower and I want to hit an offensive shot, we're dropping the paddle and getting under the ball. We're not just coming on top. And we're always making sure that we get into our legs. Now, the next thing that you can do is you can be proactive and not reactive, and you can anticipate what shot your opponent is going to give you. Again, we mentioned this in the beginning of the video. The purpose of the dink is to neutralize your opponent. And in recreational pickleball, kind of what it is you dink, you dink, you dink, you dink, you dink, someone pops it up, they smash the ball down. Not a lot of recreational players know how to reset the ball. You smash it down and you win the point. So what does that mean? When do you get a smash? You get a smash when your opponent pops the ball up. Now, how do you know that your opponent is going to pop the ball up? Well, there are a few telltale signs, and that's what we're going to go over right now. So if you ever see your opponent make contact below the net and their head goes down, 9 times out of 10, they're going to pop the ball up. So what you're looking for when you're dinking is you're looking for this. Notice when I'm popping this ball up, I'm making contact below the net. I'm getting the ball close to my body. I'm not taking it out in front and my head's down. When my head's down and I'm making contact close, the ball's going to go up. If you ever see your opponents put their head down or make contact close to their body super low, I want you to lean over and be ready for the next shot. Again, so if I'm dinking, and someone pops, or I see someone go like this, what am I? I am already ready with my paddle out in front. And the big thing is, again, the paddle is out in front. I am here when I'm hitting. I'm not falling backward. The next thing that you can do to be aggressive is understand the speed of the ball depends on how big you should swing. When you are hitting a super slow shot, you can hold the paddle loose and you can take more of a bigger swing with your wrist. The faster or the higher level you get, the faster the balls are going to be hit. And the faster the balls are going to be hit, the shorter of a swing and the more firm you're going to want to hit it. So think, when the ball comes super slow, you're going to take a giant swing and hold your paddle loose. But remember, when I'm taking a giant swing, I'm using my wrist, I'm not using my arm and my shoulder. Now, when the ball's coming super fast, it's getting jetted at me, notice I'm going to shorten my swing. When the ball comes fast and you want to be aggressive, you want to think of a punch or a jab. When the ball comes slow, you want to think more of a swing. So if this ball comes fast, I'm not going to be doing these giant swings. All I'm going to be doing, not that, all I'm going to be doing is going forward. Notice, when the ball comes fast, and I wish I had someone driving the ball fast at me right now, I'm just going out to the ball. I'm going out to the ball. I'm going out to the ball. When the ball is slow, now I'm really going down on the ball. So the faster the ball comes back, the more compact you need to swing and the more firm in your grip you need to squeeze. Again, the ball's coming fast. This is going to be my swing. This is going to be my swing. The ball's coming slow. Now I'm going to be looser in taking a big swing. A lot of players have trouble and they end up missing the ball and hitting the ball long because they have the wrong grip. The ball's coming super slow. The hardest balls to create pace are the balls that have no pace because you have to create your own. And players, they either try to take a giant swing with their arm and shoulder, or they do the exact same swing like they're blocking it back and they go like this. The ball has no pace coming into it. So when you just go like this, what happens? Dink, you just block it right back, and then your partner looks at you and they go, why the heck didn't you smash the living daylights out of the ball? You have to realize if the ball is coming slow and you want to be offensive, you're not blocking it back. You're not redirecting the pace. You have to create your own pace. And how do we create our own pace in pickleball while we're up at the kitchen? We're holding the paddle loose and we're taking a giant swing. Now, when the ball is fast and it's coming super fast, now I need to redirect pace. I don't have to create my own pace. I don't have time to do all that stuff. So think, when the ball's coming fast, I am redirecting my pace. Now, we kind of went over, and this is at a beginner intermediate level. When the ball's high, you hold it vertical, and then when it's lower, you drop it, and then we kind of learn the flick. The next step of that is learning how to drop into our legs and hold it diagonal, but really snap the ball down. If you want to hit a fast ball that comes at you and you still want to be offensive, I'm not swinging down, but I'm just snapping my wrist forward. If someone speeds the ball up at me and I want to counter it and really put it away, look, I'm going to go here and hold my wrist. I'm going to hold my wrist. Now notice my elbow. My elbow is out in front, and this is key. If you want to hit fastballs that are coming at you, you need to keep your elbow out. If your elbow's in, you're going to make contact close to your body. So you're going to start with your proper ready position. You're going to be ready. Someone's going to speed the ball up at you, and you're going to snap your wrist down. You're going to snap your wrist down. Notice my elbow's here. My hand's here. I'm not moving my arm. I'm not using my wrist or moving my wrist or forearm. I'm snapping down with my hand. I'm going boom, boom, boom. So here we are. So I'm ready, and I'm here, and I'm here. Now, the big thing and the difference is when you counter, you always keep your paddle diagonal or your paddle tip upward. When you roll or you go for the shot, that's when you drop your paddle tip down and you come up on the ball. Again, when the ball is high, you're always going to keep your paddle tip upward, or you're going to keep your paddle tip upward when the ball is fast. You're going to go here, here. When the ball is slower, that's when you're going to do your roll. Now, a great drill to do, and I think to develop your hands and be aggressive, is have you and your partner be a step or two back from the kitchen, and you're just going to go back and forth at each other and go like this. I'm going to get a couple balls and I'm going to demonstrate the difference between being offensive with a hard shot and being offensive with a slow shot. Let's go. So notice when I'm being aggressive with a slow shot, I'm dropping my paddle down when the ball's around here, and I'm really swinging up on the ball because I have time. Now, if the ball's coming really fast at me though, watch, if the ball comes fast, I'm keeping here and I'm going with my wrist forward. I'm keeping here and I'm going with my wrist forward. I'm kind of like thinking that always my paddle face is shining. My paddle face is facing forward, and when I'm ready to be aggressive or counterpunch, I'm here. If I'm on that side, I'm going to be here with my backhand. If I'm on this side, I'm waiting for my forehand and I'm going forward. Again, a lot of tennis players, and this comes from players with prior racket sports, where they go wrong, if a ball comes super fast, what they do is they end up chopping a ball. Remember, the difference between a volley in the tennis world and racquetball, maybe, I've never played racquetball or squash, but you want to cut under the ball. And this still happens with me because I come from years and years and years of tennis experience. When I'm making contact, I'm cutting the ball and I'm coming under it. Notice the difference. When I'm being aggressive for my forehand or backhand volley, I'm not cutting the ball, I'm going forward. Always the paddle face is continuing to go forward. I want you to think in music. It's like a staccato note, a dot, a dot, a dot. The exact same thing when you're hitting the volley. You're stopping, you're stopping, you're stopping. It's a jab. Where players go wrong, again, is that they think that they have to cut. You're either coming down on the ball if it's high vertical and snapping your wrist. You're countering if the ball's coming fast and you're going forward and keeping your paddle forward, or if the ball's coming slow, that's when you're dropping your paddle down and going up. If you want to be higher level, if you want to be more advanced, what you're going to start doing is you're going to start learning how to get your legs and get under the ball. Notice, if I go like this, I'm getting below the ball, but I'm still here. But notice, if I get into my legs and I drop even lower, look what's going to happen. Another thing, this is why players do the scorpion. On normal shot, I'll be right here, I'll hit a good ball. But now look, if I drop my center of gravity, now I can hit down and hit a way more downward shot rather than forward. So what you need to do is you need to learn to get into your legs. The next thing that you need to do is you need to be balanced and stationary while you hit. The faster ball comes, the faster ball comes back. The more powerful you hit, the more powerful your shots can go. Where players go wrong is when they hit, they fall out of their shots. And number one, they don't have control and they end up missing. And number two, if you're playing higher level players, they're going to get the ball back. What you need to do is after every single one of your shots, if it's your forehand, if it's your backhand, if it's any type of shot that you're going to hit, I want you to pretend that there's a glass of water on the top of your head. When I hit again, I'm here and I'm going, look, I'm staying stable, I'm staying stationary. And how do I stay stationary? It's very easy. I'm just getting into my legs, but you need to be balanced. Whenever I have a ball over here, notice I'm going here and look, I'm hitting and I'm stationary. What I'm not doing, and this is where too many players go wrong, is that they see a high ball or they see a ball coming fast and they're hitting and they're falling out of their shot. When you fall out of your shot and you want to be aggressive and offensive, you're not going to be able to contain the ball and keep it in. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you drop your center of gravity and you be balanced throughout every single one of your shots. Notice, when I hit these shots, I'm also making sure my paddle's out in front right. So I go out, here we are. Look how balanced I am with my body. Here we are. I'm balanced. I'm not hitting and falling over. The next thing is when you play higher level players, the faster you hit the ball, the faster it's going to come back. Where players go wrong is that you hit super fast and then they're not ready for next shot and then you get body back. This happened when I was playing recreational play. I'd go and play, I'd smash the ball down and I'd automatically win the point. And then I got some higher level players that asked to play with me and I'd smash the ball down and then I'd think that I won the point because that's what always happened. I was used to it. And then boom, they'd body bag me because the faster I hit the ball, the faster it comes back. So what you need to do when you start playing higher level players, if you're going to smash the ball and it goes in, you're going to keep your paddle out here so you can be ready for the next shot. I want you to think about your ready position for the fast shots is the follow through of your first shot and the ready position for your second shot. Whenever I finish in front, and I'm not even thinking about it right now because I did so much that's going to be muscle memory, But notice when I ever hit, if I'm doing a roll, or if I'm doing a block, or if I'm doing a smash, my paddle always ends up out in front. If I hit it super fast and I be aggressive, if they make the ball, or if it comes back, if they get it back, the ball is going to come super fast really quickly. So where players go wrong is that they hit and their paddle's down, or they fall out of bounds, and look, their paddle's not here, and then the ball comes. After you hit, you need to keep your paddle out in front. So if the ball comes back just as fast, now you can block it. Again, after I hit. So a great way that you want to think of it is in the middle, there's a magnet. In the center of your body, there is a magnet. Every single time, no matter what you do, you're always finishing with your magnet out in front. The next thing that I want to leave you, and this is going out to the ball, is really being aggressive. Not only we're getting into our legs and we're dropping our center of gravity, but we're going out to the ball. If the ball's ever high, not just going backwards, but just getting really fond of really getting down forward, pushing off forward, pushing off forward. Start pushing off your legs. There's a big difference between going out on my legs and falling out of balance versus getting into my legs, dropping down, and pushing off my legs. Again, when I'm here and I have the shot, if I just go out to my leg, it's not going to be aggressive. I'm not going to be able to get to the ball fast. What you need to do is you need to explode. Explode to your left or to your right, and that's how you hit a big ball. The best way to learn explosive is go back when you were training for whatever sport you were doing. Probably you did this, and you did speed skaters. And just work on doing speed skaters and really transferring your weight to one side or the other. But remember, you're either going out to the right, you're never going backwards. So if you guys can implement every single one of these tips and tricks into your pickleball game, you are going to instantly be more aggressive and more offensive while you play pickleball. Remember, the higher the ball is, the more vertical, the lower it is, the more diagonal. Get into your legs, keep your head down, pretend there's a glass of water, drop your center of gravity, go out to the side, don't go out backwards. Work on holding your paddle out in front. Faster it is, the shorter swing, slower it is, the more of a swing, but you're only using your wrist and your hand, not your whole arm and your shoulder, and you're going to be more aggressive. And when you're more aggressive, opponents are going to fear you. Opponents are going to be afraid to pop the ball up. The biggest giveaway in pickleball, when I play players or players ask me for advice and they're under the level of 4-0, they go, Tyler, what should I improve on? When I answer this question, 8 times out of 10, I say be more aggressive while you play pickleball. If I pop the ball up at you and you just tap the ball back at me, I'm going to know that you can't do anything with your shot. However, if I pop the ball up at you and you smash the living daylights out of the ball and automatically end the point, I'm going to be afraid to pop the ball at you again. I'm going to be afraid to pop it up, and I'm going to end up losing the point. So the best thing that I recommend, once again, is to go for every single one of your shots and use all these offensive tips. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out all the links in the description. Check out the brand new carbon pickleball paddle, and make sure, again, to share with your friends. The best way to support this channel isn't to like, isn't to subscribe. It is to share with your pickleball group chat. I know a lot of players, they are in too many pickleball group chats, but guess what? Send them this video if you want to support the channel. Have a good one, happy hitting, and I will see you guys next time on court.